So Nintendo just released the first major update for Smash Bros., and in my opinion, it could not have been better. Adding Stage Builder will just give me even more reason to squeeze the hours out of this ultimate cocktail. Being able to actually go in and make stages yourself was my favorite feature of Brawl. It was admittedly limiting, but that didn't stop me as a kid from pushing it to the max. While I didn't utilize the mode much in Smash for Wii U, I am excited to try out a much more robust system. It looks like Super Mario Maker was on the developers' minds, because the amount of control here, inability to spin platforms or set them on a path, is going to allow for a ton of creativity that just prolongs the life of the game. Since sharing is easy and online levels can be downloaded, I thought I'd show off the first 3 I've created so far, all based on my favorite games. I made them in a single weekend day. It took about 9 hours total. I wanted them to be the best I could make them, so I hope you enjoy, and if you want to try any of them, the course IDs are in the description. For my very first level, I was inspired by the Luigi's Mansion backdrop and its giant moon. I knew right away I had to make a Clock Town stage based on Majora's Mask. Since the Clock Tower is the most distinctive landmark, and where Skull Kid looms over while the moon is falling, I made it into the fighting arena. The main platform is the tower's entrance, and where Link has to wait on the final day for its doors to open for the Carnival of Time. The clock face reads midnight here, with its back layer rotating slowly to try and mimic the real thing. I do wish the editor allowed for delays in movement to actually recreate the ticking, but the idea is conveyed nonetheless. As far as its design, I used basic shapes, so it's pretty simple, but I think it came out alright. I would have liked to put in individual grooves along the side, but I maxed out on space and couldn't fit anything else. The clock face is made to be a foreground element, so you can move around behind it, with a bumper in the center and 2 cannons on the sides of the tower, leading to purple platforms chosen to fit Majora's color scheme. Next up, but not moving away from the N64, we have Princess Peach's Castle. It's the same one we already have multiple stages of, but different in that it's suspended in space, with focus on the giant Koopa clown car holding it up. This scene is from an opening segment in the original Paper Mario, where Bowser uses a behemoth version of his clowncopter to lift Peach's castle into orbit from underground, where it remains for the rest of the game. I tried to recreate it as faithfully as possible. There's the stone base with 2 spike balls hanging from chains, which I substituted for steel and rubber, then the rocky bottom of Bowser's castle with his chiseled head in the center. I made his castle an area you can walk through, with its fortification as a background layer, while looking above from here shows Peach's castle sitting on top. There's a layer of dirt and grass left over from when it was uprooted into the sky, and for a little Easter egg, I placed Twink in the corner over here. It was only later that I figured out how to make the spike balls sway in unison as they do in-game, so I uploaded 2 versions of the level. One is immobile, and the other in all its swinging glory. And last but not least, in honor of Mother 3's anniversary, and in spirit of my Earthbound spirits in Smash videos, I made a stage based on Lucas's home village. There were a lot of areas I could have chosen within Tazmily, but in thinking about unique platforms, I decided Leader would be the most fun to work with. Leader is the local bell ringer, keeping watch over the Nowhere Islands and alerting the village whenever there's danger. He's a selective mute and giant, towering over all residents, and can be seen standing next to his bell tower during the first 3 chapters, which is where I took the fight, so hold on to the brim of his hat, as it's a long fall down. Leader will move his arm back and forth holding a gong, to ring the bell and also probably to shoo you off, which can be used as a bridge to the tower. You can stand on top of it, or in the little hideaway area at its base. The bell itself does have a switch on the underside, but that's just cosmetic. You can at least pretend you're helping Leader ring it. But those were all the stages I've made up so far. As you can see, there are restrictions, but imagination can go a long way. I hope you liked me talking about my process. I worked hard to have things looking clean, and that's nearly impossible in freehand without the grid. Thank you, grid. But I do plan on getting a proper stylus to maybe ease that, or for some pixel art creations. I'll come back for another video on Stage Builder in the future, maybe looking at my favorites that others have made too. But until then, I'll see you next time.